So this one's kind of a fan request.
In the year
of the fan. We made it 3 episodes before we got to kind of a fan request. I looked in the YouTube comments and I googled No Contest 2, and there was at least 3 or 4 separate comments saying you guys should do No Contest 2.
Boy.
So it fucking counts. It's No Contest 2 today. Hello and welcome back to the 46th episode of Good, Bad, or Bad Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies and tell you if you should too. Once again, I am your gracious host, Mr. Brian Shilligo, joined as always by the other gracious host, Mr. Kyle Hinton, who likes to do that thing most times.
I gotta do something.
It's usually this.
I gotta do something. You're the one talking. I gotta. If you're talking about me, I have to do something that acknowledges it.
On today's episode, we watched a sequel, our first sequel, well, other than Neil Breen movies, if you count them. Well, our first sequel of a movie we've reviewed. We did like Speed 2, Cruise Control, probably a couple others that I can't remember.
Yes, we've done sequels that are shitty. This is the first time we've done a
sequel,
mediocre film to a mediocre sequel.
Bordering on, yeah. The first, if you don't recall, the first No Contest, I think we both kind of fairly agreed it was like a middling film that wasn't quite good bad, but also wasn't really bad because it was just not quite.
It did have flaming people falling off of a building,
which was the best moment in the whole movie.
Yes,
the flaming corpse.
This one,
it was the birth of the Enya song, but in our show. But yeah.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time, and who can say...
This film, we have I just say I love the I'll just spoil this thing, the fire extinguisher.
It's amazing. Is glorious, and it may have a little Enya set to it. We'll see. But yes, it's No Contest 2, which really makes no mention of there being a first No Contest.
Yes,
they make
like nothing,
almost no reference to her having been in events similar to this before.
I was just, in the entire time I was expecting her to go,
not again. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Something, anything. It's that kind of movie. You think they're gonna make,
which is strange if you've seen other Shannon Tweed films. Well, she does a lot of like action films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And every single time she's kind of wisecracking, kind of the Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's who her character is. She's the Bruce Willis character, kind of, in this diehard clone that it is. But yeah, I would expect. I guess the idea was that they didn't think many people cared or saw No Contest, so they were like, why would we make reference?
They really underestimated the pull of Andrew Dice Clay and Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
You have all the time you want. You have 6 bullets worth of time.
Which we'll get to there, but that's where this film is lacking the most, in my opinion, is the bad guys.
It has like one good bad guy.
That's its biggest flaw, because that was like the biggest plus of No Contest was the bad guys. They were all fun and different.
But, this one has one good bad guy, and it's not the main bad guy.
No, and that ain't Falco. I mean, it is Falco.
That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
Damn it. All right. So No Contest 2 opens up, and I'm like, well, we're on a movie set. Because this is very clearly a movie set. But it opens up on oranges, and I was having PTSD orange flashbacks to Fatal Deviation and the picnic scene. I was like, why oranges again? Fuck. We just escaped them. Okay, this opening scene. I have so many questions about this scene, and I don't know if you have any answers.
Okay, the kick. Was that supposed to be an actual kick that happened to the actress?
This is my whole dilemma, and it almost broke my brain.
Yes,
trying to figure it out.
You look at that, and it looks choreographed to how a fight scene would look if they were shooting a fight scene.
And she gets kicked in the face, and she has like some blood on her face.
And the kick is very
very clearly like 6 inches from her face, but it hits her, and she says, the actress in the scene, in the moment, says, I just spent $10K on this nose.
I just spent $10,000 on his nose.
And I was like, so what kind of character is she? So this, because it's like Inception levels of like, I don't understand what like, so, because then, okay, so I'm like, well, first my brain, after she says it, I was like, oh, so her character she's playing must be like a model or something.
Or like some sort of secret agent even.
Who
like needs to
who
get
had like reconstructed or something. So that was where my brain went first. And I was like, so then the scene plays out, bullshit happens. We get to the end of the scene. And the director or whatever, the stunt coordinator or somebody comes up.
They're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'll see the nurse later.
It's great, Sharon. Good.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'll see the nurse later.
It's like,
So-
you really got kicked.
So she actually got kicked. So then I was like, wait, so did she improv that line? And then they used it?
I just spent $10,000 on his nose.
Wait a second. So if that, so was the line actually the actress Sharon?
I am watching your brain tightrope this.
I could not figure this opening scene. I like almost had a meltdown and turned the movie off. I was like, what is going on? So then I was like, okay, so was it Sharon, our actress Sharon, who is an actress in the movie, was it her saying that out loud in the scene and then they just kept rolling with it?
I think so.
But then, so in order for them to keep rolling as long as they did, that line would have had to make sense in context of the movie for her character. Very strange. I was very... anyways. So the end of this opening scene, we skipped it, but they get to this little girl who's in a car
With a bomb.
standing next to a bomb. It's very strange. In the middle of a crowded street. There's like people everywhere. And I don't understand what this was supposed to be. So the guy's he's like, I'll kill the girl if you don't, whatever, blah, 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 some shit. And then they beat up the guy.
See that moon up there?
And then take the girl,
It's a full moon, which means
but then let the bomb go off?
you're about to trade up.
Cut!
And then there's like a joke about menstrual cycles.
It's a full moon, which means she's on a cycle.
Yeah, he's like, oh, the moon, she's on her period. That's why she beat you up, hot. But the part I don't understand is like they get the girl out and then they let it blow up, but it only blows up a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well maybe that was they're gonna like CG in an explosion.
Yeah.
But there are people everywhere and they don't warn anybody. They don't say anything. They just let the car explode in the middle of
If you recall, during that whole fight scene, all the extras in the background are doing jack shit when they're supposed like
Yeah.
they're having no reaction to
There's,
what's
like,
going on.
about it's like the lady from Christmas Rush. She
Yes.
just walks out of the store and like going about her day.
Just lay him down. Hey, get back inside! Back inside!
But I was so confused. I'm like, so you're just gonna let all those people get exploded, and then when it goes off, it's a tiny explosion. So maybe they knew it was a fake bomb. But then I'm like, it's the same thing where I'm like, okay, but maybe it's supposed to be a real big bomb, but it was just little for the movie. But this opening scene, like
Gonna be right there, Brian?
yeah, I think so. We'll be okay. They cut it. We find out that her main actor guy's kind of an asshole because he threw his lighter in the car.
Threw a lit Zippo
Into an
$80,000 Porsche.
Yeah.
I told this jerk off if he throws the Zippo in the car again, I'm gonna freak out.
Screw you. It's cool, like McQueen.
Hey, keep your hands off me, you piece of garbage.
He doesn't understand the concept of deposit.
Yeah, right. So they're all mad at him. So we find out he's kind of a dick. And then that's cemented when he asks her to go up and practice scene number 69.
Huh? So what do you say we go to the hotel? We can talk about, I don't know, scene 69.
What?
That means when the guy puts his penis in the mouth of the woman, and then the woman, wait, yes, and then the woman, wait, no.
Cunnilingus.
And then the guy, I got it backwards in my head for some reason, but then the guy puts his tongue in the woman's vagina. Yes, cunnilingus, as they call it in France, I believe. So that's Good, Bad, or Bad, Sex Class 101. So we cut to the art museum. I think, I don't remember. We cut to the art museum where this takes place, which I didn't realize at first that it was an art museum. But
yes, well, it looks like just a warehouse that they kind of built around.
Because they're walking through the room and they're like, oh, it's a modern display.
Oh, are you talking about the alley
inner
type
city,
thing?
yeah, like
urban?
the inner city, like urban.
What it reminded me of was the shooting course from Men in Black.
Yeah, or like a really bad like laser tag place from the 90s or something like that. Where but so it's like all these like chain link fences and trash everywhere, and she goes, "Ooh, I like this new display," and the lady says it'll sell more. She goes, "It'll get more people in, which means we'll sell more."
Contemporary exhibits like this will bring in more people, and more people means more sales.
And I'm like, sell more what? You're an art museum?
Yeah. Bring more people in.
But she says specifically, will sell more or something like that. I don't know. More like shit from the gift shop, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, so this is Sharon's sister. Sharon, who is Shannon. Tweed is Sharon in the movie. And this is her sister, who is the curator of the art museum.
Bobby
She's the
Bell.
redhead. Bobby, yes. So then we're introduced to the security guys. We're introduced to the chief of security, which I don't remember his name.
Ritter.
Ritter, okay. Yeah, he's the head of security. And then Falco.
Yes, Falco.
That is Falco. He's like a new guy on the shift or whatever.
And he is livid.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Yeah, he's a very angry man.
Up and at him.
He's a very strange man. He's crazy. He's a replacement for Rowdy Piper, but he's the best thing and the best bad guy in the movie. Still no Rowdy Piper.
Yeah.
So they have a new security system at this. I think it's new because they got rid of like their night security guard or something.
Yeah, like this thing's entirely wirelessly.
Yeah.
Like it's entire words.
Scratch that. Rewind. Try again.
The new security system they have. The new security system they have is completely digital. So like all the police sirens, the smoke alarms, the trigger sensors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all integrated into the same system.
Like the same computer. Or
Yeah.
whatever,
So instead of having a whole bunch of individual things, they have it all routed into one. So once it gets hacked,
turned off,
yeah,
everything's down. But I love this scene. So they're having issues with it, and the curator takes a screwdriver.
Yes.
Looks like you could use an electrician.
Yeah, well, Ritter fired him because he kept screwing up the alarms. Since we got that new digital system, he probably sees himself as redundant.
And shoves it.
What happens,
into
Brian?
a circuit breaker and gets fucking electrocuted.
Yes.
Probably sees himself as redundant.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
She's like, Zap! Oh! And then she's like, and then her sister's like, because at this point Sharon has shown up now, because we find out that her that she's shooting a movie at the museum, and her sister's really mad about it because she's like, her sister says something about
thank her for being so.
It's the biggest week of the curator's career for whatever reason.
About?
Yeah, well, that's just great, Sharon. But you see, this just happens to be one of the biggest weeks of my life. The future of the gallery depends on the success of the RoccoW exhibition.
And so she's like, and so of course that's the week you got to shoot here. I'm like, well, you could have fucking said no. Like that's an option. Like,
And what do? You want to come and make a movie. Where were you 15 years ago, huh? Where were you when I really needed a big sister?
But so she's shoving this thing in, and her sister's there, and she goes, hey, maybe don't.
Maybe call an electrician.
Sharon's like, maybe call an electrician and don't stick a fucking screwdriver into a circuit breaker. She's like, fuck you. And this is after she gets electrocuted, and I was really hoping, because then she sticks it in again.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm fine. Forget it, okay?
Bobby, don't fool with it. You're gonna kill yourself. Let's call an electrician.
Flick the big switch. Please.
And she ends up fixing it. But I was like, how great would it be if she just got electrocuted and died? And her sister was like, well,
what are you supposed to do?
Fucking told you.
Let's call an electrician.
Flick the big switch. Please.
Yes, here.
So then we get to the crew shows up, and the movie crew shows up.
We need to talk about this entire crew.
Yeah.
All right. So you have
the production crew shows up to scout the museum, basically.
Yeah. So in our production crew, the people that have showed up is pretty much just the director and then that jackass actor for some reason.
The main male lead from the movie.
Yes. Why is the thing? Why would he be there?
Yeah,
just
scout
to look
a
at
location,
it.
just to, I don't know, because he wants to be involved, I guess.
Well, the director of the film is Bruce Payne. Brian, who's Bruce Payne?
He's from Passenger 57.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Passenger 57?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. Gotcha. That didn't go how you thought.
Very convincing.
No, I have no idea who he was. Never seen that movie.
And okay, so it's Bruce Payne, and Bruce Payne has a very English accent.
I'd come to expect more from you than cheap vulgarities. You and I both know I will never see the inside of a prison. The notion of good over evil will not allow you to sit idly by and watch the needless death of your fellow citizens.
Yeah.
That you can kind of hear it through some of the words he says.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking basically he was like, I need to do something, but I can't do straight American accent. So a little New Yorkish.
You must be Mrs. Holman.
That's right.
And Bobby?
I'm Jack Turee, the director. It's not Sharon's fault, it's mine. I misunderstood you when we spoke on the phone.
Yeah, he's my favorite part of the movie, other than his hair, which is the worst part of the movie. But
he has some wild hair.
It's terrible. It's you could have worn your high kicks wig and you would have fit right in. But he's my favorite part of the movie because he's a weird dude. But well, also at this point, by the time they showed up, we've also met Lance Hendrickson, who is the bad. He's the new.
And you may know him as Bishop from Aliens.
Most well known as Bishop from Aliens. He shows up in he's a donor. Like he gave them this really big fancy
angel statue
that he's like, oh, it's cursed.
Because I got it from Russia.
He got it from Russia,
but they had it from Germany,
Nazi Germany.
Well, it's just stunning.
She was looted out of Norway by the Nazis. And Hitler's own curator, Manfred Dengler, tried to smuggle her out of Berlin just before the fall.
And it's in this very fancy like case that like locks and seals, and it's like bulletproof glass and like super intense security thing because it's a very rare statue. So we're introduced to him, and then also at this point Jarvis gets fucked.
Paying attention there, Jarvis?
Yes, sir.
Christ.
Which we got to talk about this character, not Jarvis. He's in it for 4 seconds and dies, gets his throat slit. But the head of security. So Falco is there, and he kills Jarvis so they can turn off all the security cameras. Poor Jarvis.
In the arms of the angel.
And head of security guy freaks out. He's like really upset.
What the hell did you do that for?
I was told to do it, so I did it.
Yeah. Well, fuck you.
Yeah. He's like, hey, why'd you kill that guy? What's up with that? Whoa, we didn't kill it. Like, he's like, because he was like worked with him or whatever. And so you assume they're like buddies or whatever. You know, he's like not happy that he killed him. And the guy's like, fuck off. You know, when we were on the plane to Mexico with $1 billion, you can fucking call his mom and apologize or whatever.
If you feel so bad when you're on the airplane tonight, on your way to Mexico, sitting your ass down in first class, get on the airphone and phone his mother and apologize.
And then the next scene that the head of security guy is in, he's like, hey, we're working with psychos.
Oh, we're doing great. We're working with a psychopath. We love working with psychopaths.
Falco.
He slit the kid open like a sow.
Like, he says it to one of the girl who's like...
Well, you didn't learn that from the amount of time you're working with Falco? Well, the man's crazy.
I'm gonna take the security card and get out of here. So the blowjob will have to wait.
He's fucking crazy. But here's the thing that makes no sense. He says that. He goes, oh, we're working with psychos. Isn't that great? And then literally later in the movie, like 10 minutes later in the movie, he walks around a corner and shoots the owner of the building in the forehead.
That was the
while
most...
laughing.
Please call the police.
Everyone on the ground.
That was the most shocking moment I had in the film.
I was like, Also, so what was all this nonsense in the first 10 minutes about him being like, whoa, I didn't know we were gonna kill people. Whoa, they're all psychos. Die.
What the hell did you do that for?
I was told to do it, so I did it.
Yeah? Well, fuck you.
12 seconds later.
What the hell did you do that for? Fuck you. He was a good kid. We're working with a psychopath. We love working with psychopaths.
Falco.
He slit the kid open like a sow.
Like it makes no sense. It's like they forgot the character they established.
I think his like in his brain he had passed Event Horizon and he's just like
it makes no sense. When he walks around the corner and shoots the fucking owner in the head, which is amazing, and blood goes everywhere.
It's just gore and ugh.
It's awesome.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
But like, I was like, wait, he shot her? He was just talking about what? Did you forget? Did they forget who Falco was? All right, I was like, that ain't Falco.
That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
That should have been Falco.
Step back just a step.
Yeah.
I want to talk about all the bad guys.
Yes, okay.
You have the woman who is like an expert when it comes to what cracking the safe or whatever.
Which one is this?
The girl. The girl.
Yeah, she has the woman has it looks like a surgery. Like she's got like a bone saw, which it is a bone saw. We find out, but it's like a big kit, and she's the one who breaks in. Ultimately, there's in the statue. There's Nazi poison,
holy hand grenades.
There's literally
they look like holy hand grenades.
Nazi hand grenades that contain the whatever the chemical was in The Rock. Which spoilers, that movie came out the same year, so I'm thinking they stole a little influence from that.
And not only that, what happened to the mixture whenever they mixed it with that water?
Yeah,
it turned green.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a 40s Art Deco neutron bomb.
No, that's what I mean. It turns green. It's in a little round vial. I'm like, yeah, there's no way they didn't take a little.
I wanted somebody to run around with a bandolier.
I wanted somebody to have to do a moment where they pull a bunch of them out of a tube. I got it.
Happily, I'll just wipe out you and me. It's a cholinesterase inhibitor. Stops the brain from sending nerve messages down the spinal cord within 30 seconds. Any epidermal exposure or inhalation, and you'll know.
That movie's amazing, by the way. If you haven't seen The Rock, it is easily
the best Michael Bay film.
Michael Bay film by far. Like, not even ironically, it's the best Michael Bay film.
So there's her specialty is, getting into stuff and I guess tearing people apart surgically or whatever.
Yeah.
There's the rocker guy with the earbuds.
Oh,
and
you
stuff.
mean Fat Damon? He looks like. Have you seen Eurotrip? Oh my god. Okay, there's a scene in Eurotrip where Matt Damon shows up and sings Scotty Doesn't Know as a bald, earringed rocker guy.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday.
He looks exactly like this guy, except this guy ate Matt Damon.
I thought this dude was the eunuch from Game of Thrones.
Varys? Yeah. Oh, I wish it was Varys. That would be amazing.
You can do better than that.
The younger guy with the spray paint with the music earbuds in, he was like being a
there's
jackass.
that guy. Yeah, I forgot about him too. Who's just like he's apparently just vandalizing shit for no reason.
Apparently he's a chemical expert because he knows what all the stuff is.
Yeah.
Crystals were created during the Second World War as an alternate for the A-bomb.
Yeah, but he's also just a vandal. Like, I thought that was a reason he was spray painting all that shit. No, he just wanted to spray paint shit because he's like edgy or whatever. Like,
Falco, as we mentioned before.
Yeah.
Crazy guy.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. He's the new Roddy Piper, basically, of this movie. He's the second in command, kind of.
Ritter, who gets turned into Swiss cheese with the gunshots. He like gets shot in the arm, he gets shot in the leg, and he's like for the entire half of a film. He's
the
like
head of security.
constantly bleeding.
Yeah, the head of security. Right. Sorry. Yeah. I thought. Well, when you say shot in the arm and shot in the leg, I thought you were talking about the main actor, which that's a great scene. Yes. We'll get there, but
and then of course our main bad guy, who we find out is related. He is the son of the man who made these agents, right? These
the chemicals.
Agents?
Is that what it is? Okay, because he says when he first introduced himself, he says his name's like Eric Dane, and then eventually he says it's Eric Dengler or whatever.
My name is Eric Dengler. Does that ring a bell? I'm Manfred's son.
And he says son of somebody, and I didn't realize.
I think that's who
we were supposed to know who that was. Okay.
Yeah.
And Hitler's own curator, Manfred Dengler. My name is Eric Dengler. Does that ring a bell? I'm Manfred's son.
That would make sense.
Because they break into it. He apparently knows everything, but they break into it. This is an incredibly dumb scene. They get the neutralizing agent and then light it on fire.
Yeah.
It's the formula for the neutralizing agent.
They're like, you know, maybe you might want to keep that just for yourself to have, because that's probably worth. Because here's the thing, if you're a really good criminal organization, you sell the thing to the bad guys, and then you sell the cure to the good guys. That's what you would do if you wanted to make a bunch of money. But no, they just burn it.
Brian has thought this through.
I'm just saying. That's what everybody does. Like, if you're making a movie like this and they're like, we're just out to make money, we sell the weapons to the bad guys, and then we sell the shields to the good guys or whatever, like, and then you make the most money off of it. But no, they just burn it because they're evil.
Platinum. Sapphire crystals.
So bad guys, right? They got everybody held captive except for Sharon Bell again. So they have everybody in the back.
Yeah, 'cause she goes out to do something.
Bobby, use the security card.
I think I left it in my office. I'm gonna have to go get it.
No, wait. I'll get it.
Yeah, they have everybody in this back room that has a whole bunch of chemical supplies like turpentine.
Yeah, it's like
that.
the restoration room, like where they restore the art or whatever.
And they begin having the jackass actor dude begin reciting, what was it, Shakespeare or something?
Yeah.
My conscience hath 1,000 several tongues.
Snoot music. You get paid for this?
Because that he's a bad guy, and that's a super bad guy thing to do.
As he's acting, though, he doesn't like it, so he shoots the dude in the leg.
Ow.
Yeah, but when he shoots him in the leg, if you look at that shot, it takes him a very awkward amount of time to pull the trigger. Like, it's something about the way it's cut, or like, it looks like he tried to pull the trigger and couldn't, and then did. It hangs for a long time. It's a very awkward pause, and then he shoots the guy in the leg. Also, at this time, elsewhere in the building, Sharon is trying to get in contact with the outside world.
Hello, can anybody hear me? Anybody on this channel?
So she gets a walkie-talkie. She finds a walkie-talkie because at this point she knows everybody's been captured, and she's talking to somebody.
And tells like an idiot, she tells the person she has no clue she's talking to.
No idea who it is.
On a short-range radio.
Yeah, short-wave radio.
Where she is and what's going on.
Yeah.
Please, come in. Anybody, it's an emergency.
I copy, ma'am. Go ahead. What's the problem?
Oh, thank God. There's been a robbery at the Holman Gallery. There's 5 of us held hostage. You need to send help.
She's like, I'm in this building and we're trapped. And the guy's like, and it's even better because the guy's like, okay, I'll help. Where are you?
Are you secured, ma'am? Where are you?
I'm in the basement.
Where?
And she's like, I'm in the East Wing or whatever. He goes, where specifically are you? And I'm like, you idiot, come on.
Where? Look around.
It seems to be a security office of some kind. Please hurry.
Oh, I'm in the security room.
Yeah.
Right here at these coordinates.
Yeah, I was like, fucking idiot.
And then to tip her off completely, he goes, yeah, I'll be right there. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Please hurry.
Laughs into the walkie.
Yeah. Fucking amazing. So Falco's after her at this point, and yes, and so we cut back to now our actor has been shot once in the leg, and Hendrickson, in order for his entertainment, because he's such a grandiose villain, tells the director, which is great.
You're the director. Direct.
Direct him, Mr. Director.
Yeah. Which that premise for a scene like this is kind of great. Having a director like threatening to kill an actor and trying to get the director to get him to
well,
channel.
That's just the Werner Herzog film.
Yeah. It is. Once again, we see the futility of life play out before us. As we are but playthings in the great world of nature. God damn, I can't do it.
It's what was the name of that German actor he worked with all the time? Who? Klaus something.
Klaus Klimski.
Yes,
Klaus Klimski was a great personal friend of mine.
The two of them had freaking death matches like on set.
The great actor Klaus Klimski. I don't even know how to say his name. I realized I'm not even doing Werner Herzog. I'm doing Paul F. Tompkins doing Werner Herzog. But close enough. Whatever.
The grown-ups find themselves in a burning building.
And how many? I mean, this is a question I have to ask you. How many of them make it out?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but none.
I don't even know what Werner Herzog sounds like.
Just Jack Reacher.
Yeah, and I've seen him. Yeah, and I've seen him in. I saw Grizzly Man, which when I saw Grizzly Man, I thought that whole documentary is insane. I don't know if you've seen it, but I thought because Werner Herzog does the voice over the whole movie, and I thought it was a person like doing a character.
This is Timothy's camera. During the fatal attack, there was no time to remove the lens cap.
Like, it was so ridiculous. I was like, is this somebody like doing is this a joke? Anyways, that's way off topic. Do not ever listen to this tape. You should destroy this tape.
This is terrible.
Truly, you must never listen to this.
But he's telling.
That's my favorite scene in anything ever, by the way. Which he's listening to the tape of him being eaten by bears.
Oh, you can hear life escape from the man.
It's my favorite scene in any movie ever, and it's horrible. I can't not laugh at it every time I see it. He's like, destroy this tape.
I think you should not keep it. You should destroy it.
Yeah.
I think that's what you should do.
Way off topic, Jesus. All right.
He tells Bruce Payne, "You got to direct this asshole actor to, direct him."
Yeah.
He just says, "You got to believe it."
Just try and be truthful. Just try. Tell the truth.
And then he does he gets more into it,
more
but put
into
the
it.
point of being unintelligible.
Yeah.
And every tale condemns me for villain. Perjury. Perjury in the highest degree.
He's really speaking nonsense and I guess to be fair, he's bleeding and he's worried he's gonna die.
But he gets shot again in the arm.
Yeah.
Murder, stern murder.
It sounds like you got marbles in your mouth. God.
And then he does it again, and then he finally just kills him. And he just shoots him and kills him.
But he tells the director to direct him again. Well, the director gets up and looks like he's whispering something into his ear, but he picks up a piece of ceramic or pottery or something like that to cut their bindings.
Oh, does he? I missed that part. Okay. Yeah.
That's how they're able
to get
loose.
free eventually. Yeah, that makes sense.
In coffee cans in somebody's cellar.
Okay.
We got to talk about the security room scene with Falco.
Yeah.
So Falco, he's walking through and just putting round after round
chasing
into the
Sharon.
door.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the room right now.
Oh.
So she puts a cabinet up against the door.
Yeah.
And he's shooting the door and then just kicks it in. Well, she puts a fire hydrant. Fire hydrant. Why did I keep saying that? Fire extinguisher. Both of which are used to fight fires.
Yes.
But she puts a fire extinguisher in a chair, and whenever he breaks the door open and enters, she hits it with a stapler, probably swing line.
Definitely. It's my stapler.
And the fire extinguisher flies off like a rocket. Yeah. And uppercuts the dude.
And in perfect shot, flies across the room, hits him. He goes down like Muhammad Ali just clocked him. Falls, and then in one of the greatest shots that I didn't even notice until you made me.
Well, he falls down and his eyes are completely open, and he goes, sleep.
Oh, I'm unconscious.
Yes.
It's great. It's great. And it's actually, I didn't realize because I missed that the first time. That's like that happens like 4 times in this movie where they knock him unconscious and then she just leaves him. Because he keeps coming back and like fucking with her again. And if any one of those times she had like tied him up or something. Yeah, they would have been fine. But she keeps just leaving him.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
Oh, okay. So then they're back in the room. They have gotten open the statue at this point. They pull out these little Nazi grenades. Sein will count to 3 and not till 4.
Yes, they are totally. They're holy. They look like holy hand grenades.
Yeah. It's like doing the Nazi version of the directions for the holy hand grenades. If you'll count to 4, I can't do a German accent.
Then shalt thou count to 3. No more, no less.
And then so they test it. They said they're going to test it and see if it still works. So they go cut the actor's hand off. This is the bone saw I was talking about earlier. They cut the actor's hand off and bring it in, and then inject some into it.
And they say the only thing we can be worried about is if there's a chain reaction.
The only thing we have to worry about is causing a chain reaction.
What happens?
You melt.
There's a chain reaction, and like shut the fucking case.
Yeah.
But the hand melts.
Close case.
Yeah, the hand completely melts. Like this shit, it's like the rock poison or whatever the shit that was. It just like melts you or whatever. Or like yeah. But I know this when they take it out of the statue, they all put gas masks on.
Put this on and the rest of you just take a deep breath.
In case it's broken in there and they don't want to, breathe it in, I guess.
But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter because if it just gets on you, you're fucked. But then when they just to open that, they have gas masks on. But then when they inject it into a hand an inch from their face, the guy just goes, "Oh, you should hold your breath."
Hold your breath.
Take this. I'm like, well, put the gas mask back on. You have them.
So our main bad guy is just like, that's bad.
Yeah. Stupid. Okay, and then so as they're starting to escape or whatever, the director and them are talking. Girl goes off to get Sharon or something like that, and they have a sweet bamboo fight.
Well, no, she drops in because she's going.
Oh, is that now?
Yes. This is. She's
was no. That's right after
later?
the bamboo
Okay.
fight. It's right after.
Okay.
It's literally the scene after. Yeah, that is. You had them switched. But yeah, so the girl goes to find her.
Well, she sees her like getting ready to shoot.
Yeah,
and
they fight in the bamboo.
They
room.
fight in a bamboo place. That's all we know.
And then it's hilarious because the girl dies. I'm pretty sure in the exact same way that dude died in the bedroom.
Shit, what was his name?
I don't remember.
Q. It was Q. The no eyebrows guy.
In the bedroom in the first no contest where she flips him backwards over her onto and he gets impaled on a. In that case, I think it's like a table or like a leg or something.
Belle gets into a fight with Ice. She eventually knocks him onto a pole.
Or a splinter. I was like, what was that? He just
Yeah, so he
gets
gone.
stabbed.
Then she gets impaled on bamboo.
Yeah. A bunch of bamboo, pretty awesome. And then she falls through the ceiling, and this scene makes no fucking sense.
Yes, it's amazing.
So they hear her crawling in the ceiling, and they see shit falling off the ceiling.
Because it's a Shannon Tweed film. She's got to be in air.
Vents.
Yeah, in vents somewhere.
And it's a drop ceiling, so it's like shit panels are like falling out, and then they like go into the room that she's in, and she falls to the ceiling, and nobody shoots her.
And she falls like right on top of Ritter too.
Yeah. Well, but at the same time, the main Bishop has his gun pointed at her as she falls through the ceiling and doesn't shoot her. He like looks like he's going to and then does it. And I'm like, why did your problems are solved. Why didn't you just shoot her? But okay.
Yeah. But then we get this insane gunfight that just occurs, and people are getting shot left and right.
Yeah, everybody's getting shot. It's kind of great.
And then the
spray paint kid gets trapped in a room.
Gets trapped in a room with the
poison or whatever.
Yeah, and somebody shoots the water canisters that are behind him.
Fuck!
And they mix in with the chemicals, and he melts.
Yeah, well, he goes, oh no, and instead of trying to go away, he bends down and touches it. Like a fucking idiot, and his hand melts, and then he's like comes up to the glass on the door, and his face is like falling off, and bleeds everywhere. It's pretty great, which is a preview for things to come.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Okay, so then we cut back to our director and Bonnie. What is her name? Bobby, Sharon's sister, and they're in the restoration room. And at one point, the director goes block the air and starts duct taping up the door.
Yes.
What the other?
And then, but on the other side of the room, all they do is stick a cart in front of a door, and I'm like, that's not going to block.
That's not doing anything.
That's not doing anything. And then, so they're like stuck in the room now at this point, kind of barricaded in. The guys can't get to him for some reason. I don't remember why they can't really get to him.
Who knows?
But at this point, don't they set one of the grenades to go off in like an hour or 30 minutes or something like that?
They put it into the vents.
The vents, so that it'll go off and like get the whole place eventually. So this is where the director has some great lines where he starts being Mr. Director.
Oh, yes.
What an irony is this? Oh God. Your sense of humor trapped in this maze ruled by currency.
What irony is this? God! Have you a sense of humor? Trapped in this maze ruled by currency?
Good Lord.
Some of the best
Ladies
lines.
and gentlemen, Bruce Payne.
Oh, it's so good. I just wrote fucking directors.
Oh my God.
But he's my favorite. Like later on, he's good, and the moments like that are so much fun. And then they make a hairspray flamethrower.
Yes.
Or paint flamethrower, but they don't ever use it, I don't think.
But they decide to then get out through the vents.
Yeah. Well, and also they decide, the director's like, "Oh, I worked with this great actor one time," because he finds some ammonia. He goes, he used to use ammonia as tear gas.
Joey DePinto. Great actor. I shot a movie with him 10 years ago. He used ammonia like tear gas.
And I'm like, assuming what he meant by that is that the actor would use the ammonia to get himself to cry for scenes. But I just like to imagine that an actor on set was like shucking cans of ammonia places as tear bombs on set. Just like,
But they had the ammonia, they had the turpentine, and they just started making like smoke bombs and tear gas and stuff.
Bombs, yeah. Yeah, and then they start going up, she goes up in the vents. They stay in the room.
Yes.
Sharon goes up in the vents again.
And they start sharpening paint sticks.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe this. This is on par with the Demolition High or whatever. And the fountain pens.
Yes.
Except it's kind of great. So they start sharpening paintbrushes, and then they have like a tube that they're gonna, and I thought they were gonna literally blow gun paintbrushes at people, which they kind of do, but it actually makes a little more sense because they use like a compressed air, like they use like an air compressor, which would be a lot, you get a lot more force out of it, so it makes it a little more believable. Than just him being like with a fucking paintbrush from across the room. Oh, and then we get this great line from they're talking on the walkie-talkie or the phone to Lance Hendrickson, and the director goes,
"In the roulette of life, I'm Vegas."
And then Lance Hendrickson goes, "You're Vegas? Well, I'm Jackpot." Jackpot!
You're Vegas. Well, I'm Jackpot. Jackpot!
Good Lord. are the lines in this movie?
Dialogue. I was like so many of them that I had to wonder. I'm like, are these from something? Are they like quoting things at each other, like movies? Maybe. I don't know. Since it is like a movie, like a director and stuff. I don't know.
But they find out that they need to get the key card. The key card is on.
Yes.
It was
because they're all locked in. We forgot to mention they're all locked in the
key card
building.
was on the jacket of Ritter, and they threw some of the chemicals on him and lit him on fire.
Yeah.
And he got the jacket off.
Yeah.
But he left the jacket in the room.
Yeah.
So they need to get the key card to get out of the building.
Yes, and because everything's locked, and they tried to break through the front door earlier with the statue, and that did not work.
And the way they did it, I was like,
really stupid.
Why'd you do it that way?
Yeah, they throw it at the door frame and not at the glass.
Careful, be very careful.
1, 2, 3.
Because they're stupid. I don't know, whatever. Like, this is like an hour in the movie, and this is where, like, for 20 minutes, Falco just chases.
Very
around.
creepily, too.
Very creepily while saying really gross things, chases her around.
You know, there's nowhere to run to, Blondie, except into my arms, so why don't you just relax, be nice, and come sit on Daddy's lap.
Because he says at this point, it's time for old Falco to do the in and out.
I'm gonna get crazy on you. It's time for old Falco to do the in and out.
And then he just yells at her, "Give me the card!"
Yeah, the give me the card is great.
Give me the security card.
He fucking loses his mind.
And then when he went from that line to the other line, I'm like, what do you want?
He doesn't know, man. He's Falco. He's off his rocker. And then we have the chain fight where he's beating her up with the chain. And I love that it's spray painted yellow, and that's just so that when they use a plastic chain, it doesn't look stupid. Because
that's what I thought. That's what I thought the entire time.
Yeah, I was like, that's only yellow, so you can use a plastic chain and not have it look really dumb. And then she's like choking him with it, and I thought they were gonna do the Die Hard thing where she was gonna like hook him up to something and kick him down a flight of stairs or whatever, but that's unfortunately not what happens. But he does rip her skirt off, and I was like, nice. And the score also in this is very, very mid-90s, where everything sounds like it's scored on a Casio keyboard, which I always love, where it sounds like it's like the generic Casio drums with the generic Casio synth over it. It's great. It's good stuff. So they kill Fat Damon with the blow gun.
Yeah, they shoot the freaking paintbrush into his
jugular.
neck. Yeah,
and then there's a great scene, like a very poignant scene, where they like deal with the fact that they killed a man together. Where like music gets really intense, and the director and her are like sharing a moment. And this is also where they start to allude to the fact that because the sister has always been mad at Sharon Tweed because she didn't talk to her,
yes,
or
they fought about their dad who like committed suicide or something.
She tells her sister that her dad committed suicide.
Sharon never tell you our father committed suicide.
Once.
And blah 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 blah. We found out eventually that wasn't the case, but anyway, so there's like this weird random scene that doesn't really fit in of them like, oh my god, we killed a man. Also, your sister lies to you for a reason.
Maybe she had good reasons. Things she couldn't tell you. And you were too little to understand.
Next scene. All right. Yes. All right, cool. Oh, and then we also find out Lance Hendricks's mom was a Nazi sniper.
My mother was in the German army, Jack. She was a sniper.
Yes. What? She like would be in trees and just popping people.
She would hang in trees from a parachute.
She hung from the trees in a parachute harness. She survived the war, Jack, and taught me everything I know.
Right.
Shoot people.
What? What?
I just love this. It wasn't enough that his dad was a Nazi scientist.
My favorite line out of that is
she
survived the war and raised me. And every time she would had a photo displaying her father, every time he asked who that was, she would go, that's God.
No, I thought he said
or
that.
Somebody said that.
He would
somebody
say, is
said
that God? He would ask her, or he said he like looked at it like it was God or something. Yeah.
My father's pictures were hung in every room in the house, and my earliest memory is asking her, is that God?
What?
So fucking weird. Guy had a fucked up upbringing. Oh, and then there's a fight between Bobby and
Ritter. So Ritter, I don't know, he's just hobbling downstairs and stuff.
He's just beating
and
the fuck up.
she's like running through the boiler room and he grabs her and she like just throws him into an open circuit breaker.
Yeah, and face first.
Throws his face in and electrocutes him.
He's like, blah, 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 blah. And then he comes out, and I was expecting
he looks fine.
Yeah, I'm like, you could have done a little more to make him look electrocuted. He just got like a little like smudge on his face. He's like, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's how we're finishing that off. Yeah, her and Bobby meet up. Sharon and Bobby meet up, and this is the first time they run into Falco, and they. Somehow, she knocks him out. Oh, this is when they meet up. Is Sharon and Falco are fighting, and then he's like about to kill Sharon or something, and then Bobby shows up and like pistol whips him or something and like knocks him out. I think
something.
She hits him with something and knocks him out, and then they're together now and they run off. And then like immediately after, Falco finds them again.
I think what happens is he just distracts her, and then Sharon like nut shots or hits him in the head or something.
Somebody hits her in the head. I remember that. It specifically hits him in the head. And I was like, again, because he comes back like 5 minutes later, I'm like, you just tie this motherfucker up. Like, holy shit.
But in this one, they have there's a gun, they have the smoke, or they have the gas grenade, and the solution is get into a fight and then beat him with a metal pipe.
Oh,
a lot.
Yeah. I love this. So he's like over her at one point, and he says like, "You're gonna die now, Sharon," and she hits him with that existential burn.
You're gonna die.
We're all gonna die anyway.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So yeah, this is the pipe. She beats him senseless with a pipe just over and over and over again.
What it's like is it's that scene from Office Space where they're beating up the fax
printer?
machine.
Yeah, or the printer, yeah.
And then they
pull him off.
They pull him off, and he's like fine. And then he gets in there again with because that's what happens.
The exact same thing happens. Okay, now I'm gonna have to put it to
that music.
Music, yeah.
I think it's something in the water, man. It's got to be in the water.
Oh, fuck! Just on a killing spree again with guillotine. But I'm like, don't stop her. Let her beat that dude until he's unconscious enough that he won't come find you again. God damn it.
And then they have a great line after that where they're like running through to get to Bruce Payne and what was the dude's Lance Hendrickson, right?
Yeah, well, Dangler or whatever.
Yeah. What's the actor's name? Lance
Hendrickson, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So they're trying to find.
Also, that scene was a very poor man's ice bag scene from the first No Contest,
yes, it was.
where she beats the dude to death with an ice bag. Anyways.
As they're going through, Bobby's like, Sharon, I'll never get another chance to talk to you about this, but I know what happened with you and Dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this movie is all over the place.
I think I know what went on between you and Dad.
Jack told you, huh?
Oh wow! This film, we start off with cheesy action movie and an art gallery, and end with Nazi chemical warfare and recounts of child molestation.
Yeah, it's real intense. It gets fucking real dark real quick. And so they like their relationship is fixed now because she realizes that's why she didn't talk to her or whatever.
Oh,
fucking no.
All fixed. Yeah. All good now.
And so at this point, there's a sweet face-off between Hendrickson and the director, and they're like just witty reparteeing back and forth. He's like, "You won't kill me. You need an audience."
You won't do that here.
Your type suffer from the same affliction. You need an audience.
And it's been established at this point that the director is out of bullets in his gun, and that Lance Henriksen has exactly one bullet, which is important.
Yes.
I got one left.
So then they get to the thing, and they set up a trade where
the director
the card.
The director for the card.
Jack for the card. Straight trade, we go our separate ways.
All right.
Lance Henriksen gives them the director. He gets the card, so they can all leave. And this is going down in the room where the statue was originally first done, or first where the display case for the statue is. And so the scene makes no sense. But so she's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do the trade. And then so she
oops.
You think I'm gonna fall for that?
She throws it into the
chamber.
The chamber. And he's like, yeah, you're not going to trick me, dum-dum. And then he goes, he's coming in here with me. And
yeah.
He drags the director with him. But then I guess becomes completely oblivious to the world.
He gets bashed in the head with that gas grenade.
Yeah.
Hey, you move and I'll take your spine out.
Well, because I guess he looks back or something. I don't know why he doesn't see her all of a sudden, because he looks and then it cuts and then she's punching him in the face. And I'm like, how did you not hear her?
And then she throws the grenade in there with him, and they pull the director out, and then they lock it and shut it. And then she picks up the card, and it's her Screen Actors Guild card.
Oh, shit.
It's her SAG card. I was like, no, he has the card. And he picks it up and it's her SAG card, I think.
Yeah, because they throw the card that's in the chamber is her Screen Actors Guild card.
Yeah, it's the SAG card, and she has the real one.
And so we get this scene of this guy getting, he fires one bullet at the glass, and it's like, oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah, to try to get out.
Then he pulls it to his head to commit suicide, so he doesn't get killed by the gas.
And then remembers he only had one bullet.
So the dude is literally being disintegrated, just destroyed.
It goes full. I mean, he is a Nazi, so they drew a little inspirato from
Raiders.
Raiders. It goes full Raiders of the Lost Ark on this motherfucker.
Don't look right! Keep your eyes shut!
And we watch this dude disintegrate. It's kind of amazing. And he's like smearing his bloody face all over the glass. It's intense. Oh, but we missed the best part. She goes, "No contest, Dangler."
No contest, Dangler.
And I was like, she did the thing! She said the movie! She did the thing! Yes! I don't think they did that in the first one.
She didn't say no contest 2.
Yeah, I had to figure out a way to work in no contest 2 also. Also no... I don't know.
By the way, the title this movie was distributed under was Face the Evil.
Yep, sure. So yeah, he melts and it's really gnarly and awesome. And then they walk out all happy and it's snowing.
Yes.
And he's like, director's like, well, I guess this is what it takes to get you two together. And I was like, yes, watching a man melt to death is what it took.
Well,
for these sisters to
I thought
bond.
Falco was still alive because they just left him there after being beaten by the pipe. I thought he was going to be like at the very end, like right before they leave the door.
No contest 3. Make it right now. Let's do it.
Bring Falco back.
That's what I mean. Bring Falco back. Bring and at this point, so this is fun. I meant to mention this earlier, and I forgot. The little girl in the car at the beginning is Sophia something. She's the daughter of Shannon Tweed and Gene Simmons. Sophia Simmons. That's her name.
What?
She's Gene Simmons' daughter. She's an actress.
Gene Simmons, Family Jewels.
Yeah, she's on that show, and she's an actress now. Bring her back to reprise Shannon Tweed's characters because Shannon Tweed's probably too old to do this now. I think I don't know how old she is, but
60, I think.
Yeah, she's too old to do karate. Probably she's not Jackie Chan. But and then and have her daughter do it, and have Falco come back and be like an old creepy. It'd be great. Be great. No Contest 3, guys. Let's do it. Kyle, there's no contest.
God, that'd be like a shitty independent version of Cape Fear.
Yes, it would be amazing. Is No Contest 2 good, better, bad, Kyle?
It borders.
I know it's the same
It borders.
to me as the first one, kind of.
It definitely has some moments. That fire extinguisher scene. Is
Fire
amazing.
extinguisher moment's great. The melting scene at the end is amazing and
the
crazy.
Lines delivered by the director
lines are crazy. There's a lot of moments. It did get a little boring at a few parts for me, and I was ready early for it to get going. I'm like, come on, I don't. And especially the first 10 minutes, there's so many cuts to so many different places. I'm like, and then we don't know what the story is. I'm like, what is going on? I'm so confused. Eventually it gets sorted out, but I gotta go bad. I think
I was on the fence, but Brian's taking it back.
I think it's close. I really don't know. It's similar. It's similar to even like last week with I could go both ways on Fatal Deviation, and this is similar where it's just not quite enough wacky shit, but it's close. But I'm gonna go bad.
So here I am, trapped in this maze ruled by currency.
So that's No Contest 2.
Face the evil.
Face the evil. And then we'll watch it smear down the glass as it melts. I don't really have anything to plug this time. T-shirts are still available. If you want some, go get some. And then I think that's all. You can check us out on Patreon if you want. Support us there. Otherwise, keep watching movies. Especially, well,
yeah, it varies.
It varies. You can check it out for yourself and make your own decision.
If you like the first one, can't go wrong with the second.
Yeah, the second one's not much worse. Although it lacks the Andrew Dice Clay factor.
Yes.
And the Rowdy Roddy. But it's got its own thing.
The very creepy Andrew Dice Clay trying to make out with somebody, and you're just like, okay.
So until next time, I already said that. Fuck off.